Week 10 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few wide receivers I have as sleepers this week. The first receiver, Demario Douglas of the New England Patriots. So Douglas, he's out there in tons of leagues in 93%. Kayshon Boutte left last week's game with a hamstring injury, and he hasn't practiced so far to open up the week as Boutte. And Demario Douglas, he's been a good third option in the receiving room for this New England Patriot team, and he's a deep ball threat, no doubt about it. But if Boutte's out in this ball game, we're going to see more of an expanded role for Douglas, and that's what we saw last week in the second half when Boutte went down with injury. So the last few games for Douglas, Week 6 at New Orleans, 3 catches, 71 yards, a touchdown. Week 7 at the Titans, 3 catches, 17 yards. Week 8 versus the Browns, 2 carries, 3 yards, a catch, 44 yards. And Week 9 versus Atlanta, 4 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown on 6 targets. So this week could be a potential high-scoring ball game at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who give up the 16th most fantasy points to wide receivers on the season. And like I said, with Boutte missing practice to begin the week and missing last week's game, I think Douglas, he could be in the starting lineup for this Patriot team and a decent sleeper option this week. The next receiver, Alamad Zaccheaus of the Chicago Bears. So Zaccheaus, over the last few weeks, he's going out there, getting more targets, making more plays. We know Luther Burden's been banged up, but Zaccheaus 2 weeks in a row now with double-digit fantasy points, and he's available in 97% of fantasy leagues. So this offense spreads the football out. This is the type of offense that head coach Ben Johnson wanted to see, where he brought the same playbook from Detroit as the coordinator to here with the Chicago Bear team. And the Chicago Bear offense, the ball spread out. A lot of playmakers on this roster now, and Zaccheaus the last couple weeks, like I said, has gone out there and putting up points. Week 8 at Baltimore, 7 catches, 33 yards. And Week 9 at the Bengals in that 47-42 victory, 6 catches, 58 yards, and a touchdown on 8 targets. So the targets have been there. Zaccheaus, he's a good underneath route runner and also can stretch the field a little bit. And he's a guy that's bounced around the league, obviously, no doubt about it, but still, anywhere he's went, for the most part, he's been a solid number 3-4 receiver for the team he was on. So this week in a good matchup with the Giants coming in that give up the 7th most fantasy points to receivers on the season. Zaccheaus is a sleeper this week, in the final wide receiver, Rashad Bateman of the Baltimore Ravens. So Bateman, he'll have a couple good weeks here and there, but this offense now getting back to what they do, and that's putting up points and putting up yards with Lamar Jackson back in the lineup, returning last week in Miami. And the last few games here for Bateman, Week 6 versus the Rams, a catch, 8 yards. Week 8 versus the Bears, 2 catches, 51 yards, 4 targets. And the last week in Miami, 2 catches, 13 yards, and a touchdown on 4 targets. So this offense, I know it's pretty much built around Derrick Henry, Lamar running the football, Zay Flowers, and Mark Andrews. But at times, Bateman, he could go out there and make plays, and obviously a deep ball threat. So this week in the matchup on the fast track in Minnesota, where this could be a high-scoring game, I think Bateman, if you're in a pinch, could be a sleeper this week. So that's a few wide receivers I have as sleepers for Week 10 of the fantasy football season.